If you didn't see my last video, which did pretty well by the way, thank you. Well, I basically talked about some pretty questionable and offensive video games that I found on the internet. And well, something that I didn't mention is that I left a whole section of games out of the video. Questionable PETA games. That's right, we're gonna be talking about games developed by the people for the ethical treatment of animals. I will say PETA's general idea is a good one, they just kind of really suck. This is the company that once claimed that milk is making children autistic, the organization that once made a lobster saving game and then proceeded to kill several lobsters by putting them in fresh water. This is true, by the way. I could go on a rant on terrible things that PETA has done, but I'm gonna stick to their games in this video. So yeah, they're notorious for making pretty terrible games, and we're gonna be taking a look at the most horrific and graphic and stupidest games that PETA has to offer. Games that nobody asked for and where PETA totally misses the point. If you're clicking on this video, then I'm sure you know what PETA is at this point, so let's talk about some brain-dead PETA games. Super Tanuki Skin 2D. Super Tanuki Skin 2D is a running game made by PETA in 2011, intended as a rather gruesome parody of the then recent Super Mario 3D Land and its Tanuki suit, which was also featured in Super Mario Bros. 3. The premise, such as it is that Mario is evil because he uses the Tanuki suit, and the Tanuki has gotten fed up with this and has set out to catch Mario and save his skin. Thus, through a fairly short auto-scrolling level, you must jump over obstacles and take your skin back from Mario. Upon release, the game was heavily criticized by gamers for completely missing the point of the Tanuki suits, something the company's games tend to suffer from as a whole. Even Nintendo ended up responding to this game by saying, Mario often takes the appearance of certain animals and objects in his games. These have included a frog, a penguin, a balloon, and even a metallic version of himself. These lighthearted and whimsical transformations give Mario different abilities and make his games fun to play. The different forms that Mario takes makes no statement beyond the games themselves. Yeah, alright. Pokemon Black and Blue, gotta free 'em all. Pokemon Black and Blue is a browser-based game also created by PETA and was released 1 year later in 2012. It is intended as a parody and a protest against the use of animals in entertainment, specifically targeting the Pokemon franchise. In Pokemon Black and Blue, players take on the role of Pikachu, who must navigate through levels while freeing other Pokemon from trainers. So the game aims to highlight animal rights issues by drawing attention to the concept of capturing and training animals for battles in Pokemon games. But the problem is, it does this in a really goofy way. I find it hard to believe that someone could take this game seriously. The gameplay is very simplistic, with players jumping and attacking enemies. Throughout the game, PETA randomly provides messages advocating for animal rights and encourages players to consider the ethical treatment of animals. And the way it does this is by showing random cute videos of like chickens and such. Shout out to Shofu, whose playthrough of the game is what I'm using for the background right now. It's actually really funny. Alright, look, so PETA does have a point. The underlying reality of Pokemon is a bunch of humans battling creatures against each other. The developers of the game and television series are actually very aware of this. That's why the TV show and movies often depict trainers who care deeply about their Pokemon. Also, the Pokemon series doesn't glorify the slavery of its creatures. The battles are bloodless, they simply involve the evaporation of hit points until they reach 0 when the trainer is informed that their creature has fainted. The Pokemon series doesn't lead to the subjugation of real animals or hint at the blood and gore of real animal cruelty. More importantly, there are other real-life events that PETA could be expending resources on. So yeah, no. Cooking Mama. Mama kills animals. This game's just a ripoff of Cooking Mama. This one actually follows the original game's gameplay pretty well. Mama Kills Animals consists of mini games related to the preparation of a stuffed turkey, and that's pretty much it. After successfully completing the main levels, Mama goes vegan and hugs a live turkey while the player makes a tofurkey. If you don't know, a tofurkey is a plant-based substitute of turkey. In the game, PETA encourages users to write to Cooking Mama developer Majesco Entertainment to create a version of the game with only vegetarian recipes. The game contains dumb facts about turkeys and includes vegan Thanksgiving recipes. Every time you crack an egg, it starts bleeding. It's super dumb. Yeah, whatever. Super Tofu Boy. So finally, this PETA game is based on Super Meat Boy, and it's not surprising considering PETA once compared the meat industry to the Holocaust. So this game actually sticks out from the rest because the reason why this game was created was that Edmund Macmillan from Team Meat, the developer of the game Super Meat Boy, created various accounts on PETA's official forums to try to get his game parodied by PETA. So, he was trolling PETA, he was trying to get them to create a shitty version of his game, and what do you know, PETA went on to develop Super Tofu Boy. This released in December of 2010. It stars Tofu Boy, an anthropomorphic cube of tofu whose goal is to rescue Bandage Girl, the girlfriend of the original Meat Boy. Oh, and these other characters also. In the game, Tofu Boy is portrayed as the strong Shad. He's like, the alpha. I mean, just look at this. He's packed with essential vitamins and nutrients, is healthy and strong, and has the kind of stamina that fatty blobs of beef have only heard about in fairy tales. Then there's Bandage Girl, who is described as the hottest bandage in town. Okay, PETA. There's also Meat Boy, who is a vengeful bloody cube of rotting animal flesh in this game. Oh, and Dr. Fetus, who is the only character that is like the original character. The game is played as a standard platformer and is peppered with pro-vegan messages and facts about, meat consumption and the livestock industry. The game actually doesn't have a run button like Super Meat Boy. It's just a constant quick speed that you're going at, so yeah. Alright, just so you guys know, I'm playing a speedrun of the game in the background right now, which I did for the other PETA games. People like speedrunning PETA games, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, the aesthetics of the game are pretty atrocious with the shitty slaughterhouse background. The background doesn't even move with the scrolling level. They didn't even try for this one. It's just really uncreative. It just looks like an unappealing game overall. I mean, I guess you could say that's the point, so yeah. But I don't want to give PETA the benefit of the doubt, okay? Anyways, what did Team Meat, the developers of Super Meat Boy, do after this atrocity was made? Well, they fought back by adding Tofu Boy as a playable character in the PC version of Super Meat Boy. Tofu Boy is unlocked by typing the word pedophile in the character selection screen. As a playable character, he is the worst. He has the worst stats, he's very slow, and has horrible jumps. But players would always get a grade A+ regardless of how long it took to finish the level. And Tofu Boy is also needed to get a trophy on the Steam version called Well Look at You. So yeah, Team Meat is pretty quirky. Alright, so that's the video. I think something we can get out of this is that PETA is the Scientology of veganism. I don't have a personal grudge against veganism or PETA. They have made some pretty respectable claims against animal testing and such. I just think they're mostly dumb and hypocritical. Like, they're infamous for claiming children get autism from milk and killing people's dogs. There's other weird and offensive games that PETA made that I didn't include in the video. They have this pretty infamous racist game. They've also made a lot of children comics that have traumatized many children. So yeah, that could be another video. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.